Joshua was following in the footsteps of Moses. Moses had led his people out of slavery and towards the promised land. But for Joshua to go from follower to leader, well, that looked like a gigantic task. And for that to happen, it would require some big walls to tumble.
When you have a role model like Moses, you want to learn as much as you can from him as possible. I mean, this is a man who's met God face to face. He came back glowing. I knew we'd need to learn from him, especially since, the mood in the camp had got so bitter and sour.
For the Israelites, who had wandered the deserts for 40 years, their patience was wearing thin. Their resentment to God grew, and moaning had become a way of life. Now, Moses and this generation would no longer be the generation to take the promised land. There was a new generation, and that generation needed a new leader. But who?
Moses sent me and a few others to see the new land, to work out if we could conquer it. It didn't look like a hard task, and the other spies thought there was no way. But I knew that with God on our side, anything was possible.
With his confidence firmly rooted in God, and now that Moses had died, Joshua was being called to step up and lead his people.
God spoke to me clearly. No one will be able to stand against you. You'll be strong, and as long as you're strong and courageous, for I, the Lord God, am with you. It seemed pretty clear that we should go, and how God was with us and we could take our land back.
Joshua spread the word through the camps. Rise, men of Israel, it's time to go. They tore through Canaan without a moment to pause, until the walled town of Jericho appeared in front of them. There, as the wall loomed over them, the men shuddered in their sandals. No man could conquer this land, they thought. And maybe they were right.
No man could conquer this land, but God could. I knew he'd equipped us for a time like this, so I instructed the men to pause and to wait to hear God's voice. And even I was surprised what he said.
The commands to Joshua were simple. March, sing, praise, circle the walls, praising the name of God, so the whole town would know who was on the move. For 6 days they sang. For 6 days they marched. For 6 days they praised the name of God. And then came the seventh day.
We stood again that morning to sing and lap the outer walls of Jericho. Round and round we went as we'd done in the days before. And as we finished, we gave a final cry. Shout, for the Lord God has given you the town. And then it happened.
First a crack, and then a chunk. And before you knew it, the whole wall was tumbling down. God had done something amazing. The town was theirs for the taking. And now this former follower, a leader, Joshua, had shown he had placed his faith and trust in God all the way. But God had been at work too. As Joshua trusted, God equipped Joshua for the journey ahead.